All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Friday, September 26, 2025, episode 971, maybe, of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger. And over the next hour, you, as soon as I can figure out how to turn off this. All right. Hold on. Oh, here we go. If you're looking to get the top cyber threat intelligence of the day, basically get informed and briefed on what's going on what's cracking in information security, you are in the right place, because over the next hour, we are going to go through the top cyber news stories of the day and go beyond the headlines to dig in, tap into the 20 years of experience I myself have had and Simply Cyber community members amassing collectively, maybe, I don't know, a couple thousand years of experience, which is pretty wild. And we will go beyond those headlines and give you insights, tips, tricks, techniques, ways to perceive the information that you can use to destroy cybersecurity job interviews or be able to level up as a professional, ultimately being the CEO of you, so you can deliver value to your business stakeholders. And also, if you don't like your current situation, empower you to be marketable and move along. Now, of the stories that we're going to be going through, I do not research or prep any of those stories. So just be aware. Just be aware that I don't know what's coming up, and we'll see how it cracks out on the balance. All right, let me see what's going on here. All right, good, guys. I hope you had a great week. We are crushing it, as always. Thank you for the good, kind words, Sam, around the interview with AJ Yan yesterday. If you did not catch that, AJ Yan, GRC Engineering, GRC Mafia, where you at? That was definitely good times. Stay with us because it is Friday, which means only one thing. Our friend James O'Quigan at 35,000 feet. You may have seen him in Houston yesterday before he took off again. He's going to be doing dad jokes of the day, some rib ticklers for us to round out our week. Every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CPE, so say what's up in chat, grab a screenshot, file it away. Once a year, count those screenshots, divide by 2. We're off and running with the Daily Cyber Threat Brief. All right, here we are, people. I'm trying some stuff out here just with the analytics. A lot of people drop off that maybe just discovered us, so I'm trying to do a little bit of an intro and then the bumper so people understand what's happening here. Guys, I got to say thank you all so very much for your continued support. It's always really, really well received. Don't sleep. We do have our annual community conference, cybersecurity conference. So if you're looking, 2 tracks, 9 hours, breakfast, lunch, party afterwards, 2 CTFs, prizes galore, Magic the Gathering Commander in the chill out room. Guys, it's all about good times for the Simply CyberCon, but you have to register. We're locking down the registrations here because I need to get a firm head count for the food. The room blocks are expiring on October 2nd. So if you've been on the fence, I'm asking you to take a moment and make it your one thing you're going to get done today is decide if you're coming in. Then if you are, holla, register for those tickets. I registered myself, and the boys yesterday. So 4 more tickets for Simply CyberCon 2025. All about good times. Guys, I got to say thank you to the stream sponsors for enabling me to bring this show to you. Without them, I couldn't do it. Starting with Flare Academy. Flare Academy is bringing educational opportunities for free to this community. How does it work? Well, once a month, Flare lines up a speaker on some particular topic and absolutely goes deep on it. 2 hours. Not only do you get the 2-hour training, but you also get to talk to the trainer afterwards in Discord. October 15th, don't sleep on this one. It's a 2-hour on Obscura, the future of cybercrime. So guys, if you're looking to really just absolutely blow people's minds in job interview, if you could talk about, like imagine they said, oh, where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years? And you're like, well, I see myself doing this because the future of cybercrime is going to be evolving in this way and I want to get in front of it. If you look like a soothsayer, if you look like Miss Cleo, dropping knowledge bombs in a job interview, oh my God. And if you're a professional, let's say you happen to be the CISO of, I don't know, South Carolina Port Authority, and you're like, where do I invest my money? Where should we be taking the direction of this information security program? Boom. Tough actin, Tinactin. We got the future of cybercrime. Go to Flare. Hold on. Go to flare.io. You can find it. But here's a link right now. We haven't set up the redirects yet. As always, more educational opportunities. I love education. If you know me for a minute, got Simply Cyber Academy, but then also want to bring your attention to anti-siphon training, disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training paradigm, frankly, by offering high quality, cutting edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. All you got to do is go to anti-siphontraining.com and look up their upcoming courses. What is it? Their website's kind of janky. It's like sometimes it's hard to find, like, there's a calendar somewhere. I don't know where it went though. I don't know. Trust me. Go look at your training. Okay, here we go. Active Defense and Cyber Deception with John Strand. I don't know why this is they're in B-Sides Krakow. So I guess if you're in Krakow, you can take this. But anyways, sorry, I wish I had a better way to like present this to you guys, but just a ton of opportunity. Many of their training is free. I'll drop a link to it below. Anti-Siphon Training, as always. Thank you, Anti-Siphon Training, for sponsoring. Love the people over at Black Hills. Don't sleep on ThreatLocker. ThreatLocker, who happens to be the platinum sponsor for this year's Simply CyberCon. Speaking of that, ThreatLocker, let's hear from them. And I want to remind everybody, did you know, thank you very much, did you know it? We are having 2 CTFs at Simply CyberCon, and one of them is your traditional CTF. ZMIF is working that one. Love it. Also, ThreatLocker is our platinum sponsor, and they wanted to do something fun for the community. So I worked with Michelle Kahn, and we developed an OSINT CTF. So a completely separate CTF, completely separate prize pool, and definitely not easy. It will be challenging. Obviously, I had Michelle develop the challenges, so he could not compete. Ha ha ha. We win. All right. Thanks, ThreatLocker. Let's hear from them right now. When I come back, we're going to rip the face off this news. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com/dailycyber. All right, everybody, let's get ready. Sit back, relax. Let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us. In an awesome wave. Let's go.
Cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Friday, September 26, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice.
Steve Prentice in the his.
Microsoft to offer free Windows 10 security updates in Europe. Microsoft says it will offer these extended security updates for Windows 10 users in the European Economic Area, EEA, which includes Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, and all 27 European Union member states. The decision was made after pressure was exerted by Euroconsumers, a Luxembourg-based consumer protection organization that represents 1.5 million households across Europe and Brazil. The company has also asked that Microsoft, quote, postpone the Windows 10 end-of-support date beyond October 14, 2025, noting that previous versions, such as Windows 7 and Windows XP, were supported for more than 7 years after Windows 8 and Vista were introduced, end quote.
I don't know. Whatever, dude. Okay, so check this out. We reported last week that Microsoft was going to be discontinuing Windows 10 support. And we had run a poll in the community. I had taken the position that Microsoft was within their right to do it and had been more than gracious. They gave a 4-year notice. They told everyone in 4 years this is going end of life, yet still people are like, oh, I need more updates. So Windows 10 will continue to not be updated or be end of life outside of Europe. So if you're, living in H-Town, right? If you're the A&R person from Ghetto Boys, and you're running Windows 10, it's not going to be supported. All right. So just be mindful of that. Now, this European consumer rights group has exerted enough pressure to get this extended. So for Microsoft to extend this, you have to imagine that there's some financial balance that they're concerned about. Like, oh, if we don't do this, we're going to lose X amount of dollars. They are certainly not doing this out of the goodness of their heart. I was talking to Mrs. Ozier last night. Like, no, in my opinion, okay, speculative hot take, no Fortune 50 company is a Fortune 50 company because they're doing things out of the goodness of their heart, right? Like, I just saw the reason this came up is because I saw on yesterday Amazon a $2.5 billion settlement with $1.5 billion with a B billion dollars going to basically people who were tricked into signing up for Prime and then made very difficult to end their Prime membership. So like, this doesn't surprise me. Okay, now here's the thing. I do got to tell you, Microsoft is requiring these people to sign in with an official Microsoft account and stay logged in. So they do introduce some friction, right? That you have to endure to do it. Plus, if you're just thinking that you're going to run Windows 10 and not give in to the Microsoft big machine, that's not happening either because you got to sign up. I got to tell you, I do not like how Microsoft runs it now, where you have to have a like a Microsoft Office account or Microsoft. Like I got my kid a computer and he has like a live account and it's like exclusively so he could like get into his computer. There's probably a way to have it as a local account. I'm sure DJ Bsec's gonna pipe up on this one, but it's just annoying. It's annoying that they required. Anyways, TLDR, if you're in Europe, Roswell, UK, Dragos, which is in Romania. So I don't think Romania applies to this. But any community members that are in Iceland, Liechtenstein, which I'm probably saying incorrectly, Norway, and 27 other EU member states. So if you're in the EU, enjoy your Windows 10 update. Let's go.
Vegas casino hacker released to parents.
Oh, man.
Following up on a story we covered exactly 2 years ago, a 17-year-old hacker who surrendered to face charges over cyber attacks targeting Vegas casinos in 2023 has been released into the custody of his parents, according to a family court judge ruling. The teen is believed to be part of the Scattered Spider Group, which comprised the networks of MGM Resorts and Caesars Entertainment casinos deploying Black Cat Alpha V ransomware. The attack cost MGM more than $100 million in damages. The teen has had his access to the internet restricted to educational use only, and speculation abounds as to whether he is still in possession of $1.8 million in Bitcoin, which is believed to be related to the attacks. Boyd Game.
All right, so the Scattered Spider threat actor. Dude, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I get it. He's a minor, right? So he's a minor, but I don't know, man. I certainly don't think he should be tried as a minor. Being released to your parents, whatever. I don't even know if how his parents are going to handle this. Like, dude, my kid gets written up for like using his phone in school, and like we like bring the roof down on him. Like, I can't imagine my son being like, yeah, I caused $100 million in damage and I have 1.5 million in Bitcoin. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how I would process that. I definitely would try to redirect his energy into better uses. Caesars paid a $15 million ransom. Wow. Okay. So, anyways, TLDR, we'll see how this thing is going to happen. The lawyer got him off on release. He's got a limited use of internet access. Honestly, I don't think that really matters too much. I hate to be cynical, but if you listen to any of the Darknet Diaries episodes where he's interviewing someone that's been like arrested and released, they all seem to have access to computers and internet afterwards for some reason. You know what I mean? Like Golem Fund was like running a criminal enterprise from inside the FBI at one point. So we'll see. He cannot leave the county he lives in. His internet access is limited to educational purposes. Again, this is like super subjective, right? Educational purposes. When we teach people how to like do Kerber roasting, that's educational purposes, right? I mean, obviously, they're probably trying to prevent him from connecting with his other co-conspirators on Scattered Spider and committing crimes. But what I would say is, if I don't know, law enforcement's probably collected all the things that they need, but I don't know, man. It just, to me, like, you're 17. Yes, you're a minor, but like, dude, the crimes are pretty serious, right? At some point, it's not whatever. So we'll see. He's still under arrest. He's still waiting for trial. I would assume he's not like free. He's just not in jail waiting trial, which honestly, I'm not super mad about. People get out on bail all the time, right? So this is just the kid's out on bail, except he's released to his parents because he's a minor. I don't know. Parents in chat, what would you do? It's a wild one.
Being hacked, employee data stolen. In other casino-related news, the Las Vegas company Boyd Gaming has announced the theft of employee information as a result of a recent cyber attack. In a notification to the Securities and Exchange Commission, the company stated that data on employees and, quote, a limited number of other individuals, end quote, was stolen from its internal IT system on Tuesday evening, but that the attack had no impact on Boyd Gaming properties or business operations. The company did not say when the attack occurred or whether it involved ransomware. Boyd Gaming operates casinos and resorts across the U.S. with facilities in 11 states.
All right. So Boyd Gaming, who I'd never heard of before, basically operates lots of casinos. Obviously, lots of money where the casinos are. Let's see what happened here. Limited number of other individuals stolen from internal IT systems. They did have to file an 8K filing, which is basically the SEC requires you, if you get breached, to publicly disclose it. That way investors can make decisions on whether or not they want to invest in you. Dude, they made $1 billion last quarter. Not bad. Not bad. $4 billion a year. Let's see. For me, honestly, I'm just curious whether or not any intellectual property got compromised, because that's the real impact. I don't research or prep these stories in advance, so I'm not ready with a hot take on this one. Okay, it looks like they just got employee information. Okay, here's the thing. If I was CISO of Boyd Gaming, I would definitely be protecting like anything related to the gaming part of the thing, like slot machines, software, intellectual property, key accounts, like admin accounts and stuff like that, that could access these repositories. Detections and SIMs and whatnot, doing threat hunting around those pieces. As far as this, if the threat actor's got an HR file, I mean, that's not great, but like every business has employees. I don't necessarily think that's bad for the company itself. It's not good for the people whose information got stolen. Obviously, you can imagine identity theft, targeted attacks, those type of things. You could envision it being part of reconnaissance for a larger attack, like start hacking people who work at the company, find something that you can blackmail or extort them with, and then try to leverage that. In my opinion, in 2025, and I say this to the cadets at the Citadel all the time, Like, yes, you could technically take the HR file from this, figure out who the engineers are, hack into their email, do all the things, extort, et cetera, et cetera. But that's like a movie. That's like a Michael Bay starring Tom Cruise Mission Impossible 25 movie. Like, in reality, threat actors, they want to get paid, and they want to get paid as quickly as possible. So doing this like ridiculous gymnastics, like Cirque du Soleil cyber hack is cool for a movie, but not in reality. What they would do is just ransomware, move on to the next business, ransomware them, hope the businesses pay to get the keys back or pay to not have their data exfilled, and move on. Like, yes, it is a gaming company and there is a higher level of sensitivity there. But at the end of the day, from a threat actor's perspective, especially if it's ransomware, which it sounds like it might be, they don't give a damn. It's a numbers game. Like, let's go victim, 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 etc. So for me, like, obviously, if I was CISO of this company, I'm going to protect it appropriately and do risk-based profiling and whatnot. But from looking at the threat landscape, no one's doing this ridiculous going around their elbow to get to their butthole type move for cyber attacks in 2025. It's just, there's no point. You can get so much juice from squeezing the lemon in front of you instead of climbing a tree dangerously and then going out on a branch and grabbing a piece of fruit and squeezing it. Are you kidding me with that? All right, let's keep going.
Super micro BMC flaws can create persistent backdoors. Researchers at firmware security company Binarly are warning of two vulnerabilities affecting firmware from Supermicro, a manufacturer of servers, motherboards, and data center hardware. The vulnerabilities in the baseboard management controller product allow attackers to update systems with maliciously crafted images. The researchers discovered a bypass for a flaw that Supermicro had actually patched this past January, along with another vulnerability. They say the issue could, quote, allow potential attackers to gain complete and persistent control of both the BMC system and the main server OS, end quote.
Okay, why should you worry about this? So basically, Supermicro makes these super servers. Okay, so like if you're Amazon AWS, like Supermicro is what you'd have in data centers, right? Apple, like large companies, this is enterprise grade hardware. And this baseboard management controller essentially is like a computer outside the main computer. Basically, it allows you to like reboot servers but not lose connectivity and stuff like that. It allows you to kind of manage them. It's almost like an out of band management capability, right? DJ Bisek says like if you're familiar with iDRAC for Dell. Anyways, it's something you see on enterprise grade compute, but it's still software. It could still be compromised, not easily, I might add, but they're saying that there's a vulnerability here, right? Even if the system is powered off, it can still be hacked, okay? Or remotely accessed. This is what I'm talking about. This is like the capability of baseband management controllers, okay? So Binarly, awesome, did this in a demonstration, and they released a CVE in 2024, and they've done it again in 2025. Let's see how easy it is. I'm going to go to EPSS lookup. It's a tool provided by Barricade Cyber. Check that score. Very low. So 7.2 on the CVSS score, 0.02% that if you have this, you'd be exploited in the next 30 days. So this is not super concerning. Like, oh my God, everything's on fire. Let's get out of here. I will tell you, the impact of this exploitation is quite serious, but the likelihood of exploitation is not that high. I do think that let's see. How do you resolve this issue? I mean, I'm trying to see if you have to patch it or... Oh, here we go. We got a nice little video demo. Again, if you do find a bug, and after you responsibly disclose it, definitely write the blog post. But then a YouTube video, people love that stuff. Pop a calculator. Ooh, yeah. So how do we resolve this? There's like a lot of great information here, but oh, here we go. Firmware fixes have been released. Okay. Now, I don't think patching your Supermicro BMCs is going to be super easy. You would have to do, I would assume, some type of maintenance window since it's like the underlying subsystem, but you got to patch it. You got to patch it. And also, I guess gather around the campfire. Gather around the campfire. When I saw, I don't research or prep for these stories in advance, but I do set the little tabs up so I can, make it look cool for the show. Cool. I saw a Supermicro persistent backdoor. The internet lost its mind like 5-6 years ago. I don't know if you guys remember this. Bloomberg did this like expose on Supermicro. Okay. Do you guys remember this? Oh my God. No, there was like a picture of a guy with a finger and a piece of rice on it. There it is. Check this out. The collective cybersecurity the collective cybersecurity community lost their mind. Dude, I'm not interested in subscribing and paying now. Bro, hold on one second. I just want the graphic. Can I just get the graphic? Thank you. Okay, so check this out. A couple years ago, Bloomberg released 2018, so 7 years ago, released this major expose that Supermicro had been hacked. The servers came out of China. China was putting a hardware backdoor persistence mechanism on all baseboards, and like the United States was compromised, right? Like all Apple servers, all AWS servers, everything was compromised. And cybersecurity professionals across the industry came out and were like, what? And like, there was a lot of people pushing back on this, a lot. I was one of them. And Bloomberg never retracted it. And it just like fizzled out into non-existence. Like it was a really ugly news cycle for Bloomberg. I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was like really no evidence to support this, but it was a hardware backdoor. Here we are, 7 years later, more advancements. And now we're talking about a software backdoor. This one is actually much more credible. A vulnerability exists that can be exploited that leads to a persistent backdoor. Yes. Hardware hacking, no. Okay.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, Conveyor. Logging in to yet another security questionnaire portal on a Friday at 3 p.m.? Yeah, that's chaos. Conveyor AI is your fast path to calm. It finds every question, no matter the format, and fills in the answers across portals, spreadsheets, PDFs, well, you name it. So instead of grinding through copy-paste, you get a first pass of accurate answers in minutes. Find your Friday Zen at www.conveyor.com. That is CONVEYOR.com.
All right. It is the mid-roll. If you've been following this week, we've had to stop doing the simple minds. Don't you forget about me. Some people have reached out to me about some solutions. We're investigating a couple options. I definitely want to be careful about bringing down. There's just a lot to it. Okay. What is this? Can we do this one? Oh, here we go. Diamond String Orchestra today. We'll see what they say. Probably also going to get copyright strike. Okay. I don't know, guys. It doesn't have the same oomph. It doesn't have the movement. All right. We're just going to do, we're going to choose a random song here. We'll do this one. Oh my God, this is so... All right, lo-fi it is. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for being here. Definitely appreciate all of you. I hope you're having a good show. We are at the mid-roll, so special shout-out to the stream sponsors. Flare, Anti-Siphon, ThreatLocker, and Barricade Cyber Solutions. Before we get into James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, joke of the week, I want to say really quick, tell you about Barricade Cyber's 4-5-365 solution, 4-5-365.com. Go check it out today. if you're running M365 and you haven't properly configured it, it's okay. There's still time because you haven't been breached yet, but you are definitely introducing additional attack surface and exposure surface by not properly configuring your M365 solution. The easiest thing to do is go to fortify365.com today, get on the phone with Eric Taylor, the same Eric Taylor who does Tuesday jaw jacking, and just say, hey, what can you do for us? Here's our situation. We've got 100 employees. We've got 5 employees. We've got 10,000 employees. We've got Azure. We just signed up. We've been using it for years. Whatever it is, he can definitely help you get properly configured. And the best thing is, it's an investment in yourself because when you properly configure the environment, it's technically configured and it keeps being configured properly going forward. So set it and forget it type controls. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Every single day of the week has a special segment. And James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet brings it. Here we go. James we're talking food today, everybody. James wants to know, what kind of table can you eat? What kind of table can you eat? A vegetable. Oh, God, that's brutal. How did Mr. Hamburger introduce his wife to everyone? He said, hey, everybody, meat patty. Oh, God. This is brutal. This is hurting me. This is hurting me. James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. What kind of snacks do computers like to eat? You might know this one. Cookies and microchips. Oh, my God, bro. All right. If you feel like you died a little on the inside, you can send your comments to James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. I'm joking. James McQuiggan brings the heat. He will, if you want James McQuiggan, if you're going to a conference, definitely check out if James McQuiggan's going to be there. He's like everywhere, every concert. He's also going to be emceeing track 2 of Simply CyberCon this November 3rd. So don't sleep on that. James McQuiggan, definitely appreciate him. And great to see him and DJ B-Sec hanging out yesterday at a conference. Very good to see that. All right, guys, let's keep crushing. Remember, it is Friday, which means that we are going to be doing panel jaw jacking. And DJ B-Sec is in the green room right now. He's ready. He's like a caged dog ready to break loose and start giving hot takes all over the place. So stay tuned for that coming up at the top of the hour. Let's slide back into the news.
Salesforce patches AI indirect prompt injection bug. Cybersecurity researchers from Noma Security have disclosed a critical flaw impacting Salesforce Agentforce, which is a platform for building artificial intelligence agents. The flaw could allow attackers to exfiltrate sensitive data from its CRM tool by way of an indirect prompt injection. The vulnerability, named Forced Leak, has a CVSS score of 9.4 and affects any organization using Salesforce Agentforce, with the web-to-lead functionality enabled. Indirect prompt injection occurs when malicious instructions are inserted into external data sources accessed by the service, effectively causing it to generate otherwise prohibited content or take unintended actions.
All right. So not a good week or month, whatever, for Salesforce. The good thing is that Salesforce like literally is printing money. So I'm sure they're just like, they don't like, hold on. This is what I think of. This is exactly what I think of. Okay. Like, here we go. Okay, please don't ask me to download this thing. Bro, I freaking hate that. All right, hold on. I'm willing to put the work in here to do this. It's annoying that I have to do it this way, but whatever. Like this is what I think. Ugh. Doesn't look as good. It's not animated, but like if you're familiar with this meme from Goodfellas, like this is what I think of. Like Salesforce is like, they're not digging the fact that they got compromised, but they're also like, it's all good. So at the heart of this, Phil Stafford and John Vias are kind of resident AI people. This is an attack on AI. Essentially, by putting in certain kind of inputs, the AI is forced or duped, tricked, whatever, into disclosing sensitive information that it would not normally disclose. This is incredibly difficult to test for before releasing into production. And this is honestly the great trade-off here. AI agents, LLMs, they're like big black boxes. They're opaque. You don't really see into them, and there can be all sorts of issues. We saw an example last year of a airplane company having an AI agent give refunds, and the airline company tried to push back and say, "Oh, that was AI. We didn't really want to give you a refund," and they got sued successfully, right? So, everybody is all in on, AI everything. Workforce, we're replacing the workforce with AI. AI works 24/7, doesn't ask for breaks, doesn't have HR issues. Well, my friends, you are introducing a new risk to your environment, and you got to be comfortable with that. This is another perfect example. And by the way, I just want to point out, for everybody who works in GRC, I would absolutely bookmark this particular story, and I would have it in your back pocket when you're talking about AI deployment in your environment or your company, the use of it, developing solutions, replacing people with AI. Go for it. You do you, CEO, all those things. But we are introducing new risk that did not exist prior, right? So you got to be comfortable with that. And this is a difficult one to manage. I want to let everyone know that I'm actually partnering with Cisco in October to bring I'm doing an entire month of cybersecurity awareness campaign in the age of AI. So I basically broke it up into 4 weeks, and each week has a different focus, but it's all kind of anchored on cyber awareness in the age of AI. So like AI cyber awareness for end users 1 week, AI awareness for executives 1 week, AI awareness for skilling ourselves up as cyber practitioners. So like this story, I worked on the practitioner one yesterday. So like this story is like perfectly aligned with what I'm talking about. Don't sleep on this. Sucks for Salesforce. They patched it. You don't have to do anything, but it is a good learning opportunity for everyone in chat right now to think through the new risk exposure with these AI tools.
Preschool network attacked, toddlers' data published.
What? Come on.
In an attack described by people in the cybersecurity business as reprehensible and sinking to the lowest depths possible, a cybercrime outfit named the Radiant Group has successfully targeted Kido International, that is KIDO, a preschool and daycare organization. The group then leaked sensitive details about the pupils and parents, including images, names, and home addresses, parent contact details, and in some cases, places of work. All the affected individuals thus far appear to be based in the UK.
This is gross, man. So it's believed to be out of the UK. Yeah, so basically, this is weird. You don't really see this very often. An organization that basically does childcare. Okay, so think of like Montessori or, whatever, like learning, first steps, childcare, learning daycare, right? Working parents drop their kids off. Parents who want their kids to get a head start on education. All this information has to be managed by a company. That company obviously didn't have great cybersecurity, or it was really good threat actors. They grabbed the data and released it. Now they're trying to extort the company to pay the ransom. And to prove that they had the information, they leaked, where is it? They leaked 10 children, images, names, home addresses, and their parents' contact individuals, and in some cases, places of work. Now, this makes sense, right? Because If your kid is like somewhere and they get sick, you want to be able to contact the parent to come get them, right? So like all this makes sense. What is weird is that these threat actors would want to attack this particular victim. As I mentioned earlier, threat actors just cared about getting paid, right? They don't really care.
Straight cash, homie.
I'm sure they don't care that it's kids or not, right? Like they're probably just like, hey, this is scary, let's get paid. I do think that even though there's no honor among thieves, I do think a lot of people, both criminal and non-criminal, would consider this like morally reprehensible and would not stand by it. Right? I mean, if you hear about like people who go to jail for things related to children, they typically, like the system kind of self-regulates, if you know what I mean. Like, so this is just weird. And now as a parent, this is incredibly unsettling as well, right? Like if toddlers are basically like 2 to 4 years old, by the way, like that's how I think of it, right? So they're very young. They can't really even protect themselves. If I'm a parent of like a 2-year-old and the kid's information and public photo, which is very visceral, gets published and my home address, I feel incredibly vulnerable. I feel incredibly victimized. The toddler, honestly, this is more like, I feel like this is more damaging for the parents than the toddlers. The toddlers are like, their brains aren't even fully developed, right? They're probably not even like registering what the challenge is. I don't know, man. I could easily see this particular threat actor group either being outed because of, other criminals not being like into this, or law enforcement using this as a honestly as like a opportunity for good PR, right? Like to escalate this particular case. They said they're in the UK. The UK's got a lot of surveillance capabilities, and they just initialized this national cybersecurity agency type thing in the UK. So yeah, we'll see. They caught that dude, the guy who attacked the airport systems, the kiosks on Monday this week, which like brought down Heathrow Airport as far as like having to do manual check-ins. That guy lived in the UK and he got arrested on Wednesday. I have never seen law enforcement move that quickly. They believe that this is a UK-based threat actor, so we'll see. Stay tuned. Keep that tab open, and we'll see.
Volvo North America discloses data breach following ransomware attack on third-party supplier. This attack exposed the personal data of Volvo North America employees following a ransomware attack on third-party supplier Mio Data. As we reported last month, this attack occurred in August and impacted at least 25 companies, including Scandinavian airline SAS, as well as 200 Swedish municipalities. Quote, the affected systems are used by managers and HR to handle medical certificates, rehabilitation matters, and the reporting and management of work-related injuries, end quote. The ransomware group Data Carry claimed responsibility for the attack on Mio Data and also published allegedly stolen data on its Tor leak site.
Yeah.
Z.
All right. I mean, whatever. I mean, I hate to be so flippant about it. This used to be like groundbreaking, like breaking news, and now it's like the sixth story on a Friday. Volvo in North America, so obviously a massive entity, gets hacked, and it's mostly employee information, names, phone numbers, addresses, date of birth, government issued IDs. So all the things that you need to, basically impersonate tax fraud, credit, fake credit, those type of things. It's not good. Really, like Volvo North America is fine, right? Again, being very dispassionate and objective here. Volvo's fine. Like they're continuing to make cars. They're not like Jaguar that's like down. And the people impacted by this are the employees of Volvo and you and me, right? if your data got compromised, like be real right now, like if your employer got your data compromised, they would send a message out, hey, everybody, some, horrible cyber criminals hacked in and got our personal information. Here's what you need to do. Would you quit your job? Probably not, right? Especially in this market. You're not going to quit your job. You're not going to stop doing good work. So the employer doesn't really have any of their data or systems compromised or broken. And employees aren't going to quit, the impacted ones. So like when you see a story like this, it just sucks because I'm sure Volvo had good controls in place and didn't try to let this data get out. But, they're going to give their employees a year of, identity theft protection, which you can throw on the pile of, the 8 or 9 you're concurrently running. And there you go. I didn't ask for people if this was your first time to drop a hashtag first timer, but Signal Veil drops a hashtag first timer. I'm super happy you did, Signal Veil. First of all, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
And also, if today's your first episode, holler at us with a hashtag first timer. Let us know in chat.
2 discloses flaw. A critical path traversal flaw in the file transfer application Zend2, that is ZENDTO, has been assigned a CVE number after researchers discovered that versions 6.15 through 7 and prior, quote, enable authenticated users to manipulate the file paths and retrieve sensitive data from the host system, end quote. Security company Horizon3.ai reported that the server-side sanitation routine strips non-alphanumeric characters from the file drop-off process, but if an attacker supplies a line of non-alphanumeric characters, the sanitation leaves an empty or dot-only string. Ultimately, this leads to a method that can enumerate and exfiltrate any user-uploaded content or critical system files.
Mm-hmm.
All
right, so here we go. This is another great example. And again, I always point this out because I would love for you guys to do this for yourselves. Great example of a company releasing a blog post of a vulnerability. So now Horizon 3 AI is getting marketing pub, but I don't feel like I'm being sold something. All right. If you are using this Zen2 file transfer solution, your information could have been compromised. Now, that doesn't mean it is. I want to know if they've fixed it, right? Administrators are strongly urged to upgrade immediately, so there is a patch available. You gotta patch it. If you're running this thing, I don't get it because it sounds like it's a web-based file transfer, so I don't know exactly what you're installing, but there must be some fat client element to it. All I would say is if you're running Zen2, definitely patch it. If you're not sure if you are running it, there are tools that you can run across your environment that look for applications being used. I hope you know that you're using Zen2. I would also point out sometimes people go rogue and use their own solutions, or it's possible that like say like Mary in the admissions department at a higher education company, right? Mary at admissions is like working with some third-party company that's going to, vet international students' backgrounds. Okay. Right. So you have to imagine, like, I'm just making this up, but, higher ed, they're doing admissions, and they want to make sure that the international students can financially afford to come to the school. So they hire a third-party company to do it. That third-party company could say, send us a list of your international students, and you have to send it to us through Zen2. That's our approved solution. So sometimes it's not always like shadow IT and, rogue employees who are doing whatever. Sometimes employees are just trying to do their job, and third parties are like, oh, this is how you have to do it. Mary, this fictitious Mary, isn't going to question that because all they want to do is get the information to the vendor so they can do their job and get it back. Now, obviously, there's other ways, better ways to do this. But I just want to point out that sometimes you find shadow IT and it's not because People are trying to be mysterious and hide stuff. Okay. It is worth noting that essentially this hack means that anything that's been uploaded, regardless of who has permissions to it, could be accessed and downloaded by people who are not supposed to see it. It does look like it requires authentication. So my suspicion is you would need authentication to the instance of it. So I think the risk exposure here isn't so bad. It's not like a random person on the internet could jump in and pull your data the way that like Clop ransomware did with the Move It bug a couple years ago and the Clio file transfer bug last year. So I think this would be more like an insider threat type thing. But again, a lot of people send sensitive information when they do file transfers. So be on the lookout for that. All right. Where are we at? Ooh. I got great news for everybody. We're ending a couple minutes early, which means we get an extra 10 minutes or so of panel. I hope you've enjoyed it. Stay with us. On Fridays, we do a larger panel, jaw jacking. I try to do more facilitation than speaking, since you guys get to hear me flap my gums all day, every day, during the week here. So stick around, stay with us. I do love it. Jaw jacking coming up again. SimplyCyberCon.org. I'm not begging you, but I'm imploring that if you're going to do this, please do it sooner than later. I need to know how many people I need to feed, and each meal costs money. So I'm trying to get it accurate, or else, if everybody registers after I book the food, get ready to buddy up. Phil Stafford and Elliot Matisse are going to have to split a bean like it's a 1920s Mickey, Goofy, Donald Duck, movie or video. You ever seen those where they're cutting one bean because it's like the Great Depression? All right. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Until next time. Oh, by the way, if you're going to be in Greenville, I'm keynoting B-Sides Greenville tomorrow morning. So come check that out if you want to high five properly. Now, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Don't go anywhere. We got jaw jacking. Let's go. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jaw Jacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some jaw jacking. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Jaw Jacking. I am your host. We'll keep it as solo, Jerry, until panelists arrive. I had some panelists say that they wanted to party, including DJ Bisek, but then he ran away. Oh, he's got to go drop his kid off at school. Cool. All right, everybody. So what's up? This is Jaw Jacking. If you're new here or unfamiliar with it, basically, I can't mentor one-on-one. I don't have time to answer everybody's questions. But what I can do as a compromise is 30-minute show every single day from 9 a.m. to 9:30, where ask your question. Chances are your question other people have. So I call this mentoring at scale. The TLDR is you get your questions answered. I'm super excited. Coming up on a busy couple weeks here. We're going out to Greenville tomorrow. Then we're going to Deadwood. I'm going to North Carolina for some stuff, going to Massachusetts for some stuff. So it's going to be a lot of remote studio stuff, guest hosts, all those things, but we're going to take care of you. Our first panelist has arrived. Everybody be cool. All right, hold on. All right, our first panelist is here. You guys know him as Daniel Lowry IRL, or Daniel Lowry After Dark. I like to think of him as the newest instructor at Simply Cyber Academy, who's dropping the complete Pen Test Plus course next week. Your face is going to melt. We've got beta testers getting all that deliciousness right now, and they're loving it. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Lowry.
Hey, thanks, Jerry, for that rousing introduction. It is kind of cool to be the newest Simply Cyber Academy instructor. Very, very cool. I've had a lot of fun watching the comments in the chat there for the people that are beta testing. So I'm hoping everybody's just having a great time and enjoying it. because that is first and foremost like my guiding star when it comes to training, that you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
And then that you're learning all the things you need to learn. So awesome stuff.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's, you know, it's I try to do this in my stuff too. It's like, it's not just the knowledge. It's like it's like fun. It's like there's like some, not inside jokes, but like there's like some relationship building and stuff like that. It's much more than just here's your education. Like here's your punch list, right? Oh my God. Okay. So questions are coming in. I don't know anything about this. Thoughts on Nas winning his casino bid over Jay-Z? I was unaware that Nas and Jay-Z were in a casino bidding war.
No clue.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope Nas is better at a casino business owner than he is at rapping. All right. I'm just going to throw shade at Nas.
Shots fired.
Yeah. I don't like Nas. Okay. Hey, we got another panelist coming in here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a minute, but you know him. He's a classic. DJ Bisek. All right. He doesn't know how mute buttons work, but we'll get him sorted out. It's an audio thing.
Jerry's salty this morning, man.
I know. I'm
Zing,
sorry.
zing. Nah, it's fun.
Yeah. All right. Hey, what's for breakfast? I don't even know. Did you eat breakfast today? Do you drink Monster Energy for breakfast, Daniel?
You hear me?
I drink. So we were kind of getting crazy with the Monster. I was drinking so much Monster, it was like starting to become like a problem again.
It was your
for the
blood
show.
type?
Yeah. So I had to like put the kibosh. I'm like, listen, the morning pour is the morning pour. It is the special thing. That is when we do. I drink one Monster per week.
All right, one second. DJ Bisek, I think your speaker,
Got an
your
echo.
microphone's picking up your speaker.
Yeah, I see it. It says it's got an echo.
All right. So we'll.
All right, you good now?
Hello, this is Jerry. Nope, I can hear myself.
All right, all right, fine. I'll switch to the other mic.
All right. All right. So, hey, if you have any questions, we've got some amazing talent on here. Daniel Lowry, he knows a million things, but a lot on the pen testing side. DJ Bisek, he's a recovering network engineer and technician, but he's slowly coming into this the GRC world as a executive. So he's doing that. That's why he's been okay. He's pushing back on that narrative, but guess what? His audio doesn't work, so he can't push back. We win.
You didn't say he was an audio engineer. You said he was a network engineer.
All right, Amish likes it when I get spicy. Roswell UK likes DJ Bisek on mute, so I guess he just likes to look at you, DJ Bisek.
Oh, this just got weird.
DJ Bisek, you got your mic hot?
I think. Do I have it hot?
Yeah, and that sounds great too. How you been, DJ Bisek? It's been a minute. Let's catch up with DJ Bisek.
I have been running rampant like a chicken with her head cut off.
Mm.
Been a bit crazy. Luckily,
Yeah.
I did get to go yesterday to a conference here in Houston. Grabbed James McQuiggan for about 20 minutes while we were running around together. Saw he was coming in, so I made sure I went down there and at least saw him.
I'm very happy. I got the photo right here.
Yeah, that's there you go.
Yeah.
You like that shirt? See, I try to make sure that I'm
Easy to find.
noticeable. That's a Mickey Mouse shirt, a Mickey Mouse Hawaiian shirt.
That's cool.
Fun
man.
fact is that's not Jerry's phone he's looking at. He's looking at DJ Bisek's phone through Jerry's phone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He clicked that link. Dang it.
That's so
now we've
funny,
got
man.
him.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to have you back, DJ Bisek. I hope things have kind of calmed down a little bit and you're able to, be here because people do enjoy what you're saying. Hey, before the questions roll in here, the Super Micro baseboard management controller remote access attack. Did you have any thoughts about that?
Me or Daniel?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking you, DJ Bisek, just because it's like a kind of a data center.
I mean, to me, that's a big deal, right? Because that gives you low level access to the machine. That's like bare metal access to everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah,
full on. I mean, you can do
I used to use
damn near anything you
Drax
want.
back in the
Yeah.
day. When I
Yeah,
was
that's what I
just
told
network
Jerry. It's like
admin.
iDrac.
Yeah. Yep.
Daniel, as a pen tester, how often are you looking at getting into like the BMC or the what do they call it, ILAC or ILOC or whatever? Yeah, well, iDrac, but there's like the ILOC, like lights on or whatever. Like, how often are you really getting in there? I mean, is that a practical attack?
I mean, if you're doing like an assume breach already in the network, it's it's on the table. Obviously, if you find it and you have access to it, you're absolutely going to go for that, because that would be a big problem. That would be what we call a critical finding, because now you basically have hands-on server kind of access to this thing.
Yeah,
so
that's
would be a
basic
big
physical access, basically.
Yeah,
like you're standing
Yeah.
in front of the terminal.
I mean, and also it would have to be in scope and things of that nature. So if it's all going to depend, honestly, they probably want to know more about what's going on in their AD than they do necessarily that you can find that. But if it wasn't out of scope, right? If it wasn't explicitly denied and you found it, that is going to be a big deal, and your clients are going to be very, very well. Hopefully, you can explain it to them, to the fact that, like, so you see, you have these things plugged into your servers that allow your admins to admin in their underwear from home, and that's awesome for them.
Do they use
Here's
them?
what's up. Yeah, right. Like, is this actually something that they're utilizing? I mean, they don't get me wrong; these things do come in handy. I had a few times where it was like, all hands on deck. You were on call and you got the call, and it was, hey, the server's not on. You're like, okay, let me see if I can log into this direct thing. Was the last time I did this? And you're like following the instructions. And you go, okay, it should be on. I'm getting a ping. Okay, thank you. And
It's not just that. Like, yes, what Daniel's talking about, you can get access to it, but you basically have virtual access to CD-ROM or so if you pulled out an ISO, you could now throw that ISO into there, boot the machine up, and wipe whatever's on there, create your own ISO, and now you're good to go. Now you have your own machine. You can, if you wanted to, you could throw Kali on there. Now you get your own Kali machine on somebody's network. I mean, it's a big deal.
How is this a bad plan?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So, as I said in the news brief, like, you patch it. Firmware patches on low-level systems is not easy, though. Like, is there a good way to do that from a centralized management perspective, BSEC?
To do what?
Like patching the firmware, like low level. Because to me, when I patch BIOS, like I have to be at the machine. I can't.
I don't know if there's a central way to patch the firmware itself, and you sure as hell don't want to. You don't want to do that.
You don't want to not be.
You don't want to push out firmware to all your machines. Like, you want to go one at a time.
Do it on a Friday afternoon.
With a backup.
Let's just update the whole firmware in the data center. Nothing will go wrong there.
Yeah. Peace out, yo. I'm heading to the house.
You
Phone's
got this.
on silent.
You got this, kid. Yeah, we'll see you. All right, I love it. So, question coming in from Amish: how's the CISP changed your professional life? So I don't know the background. If you all have it, I have it. I'll answer it first. And it says DJ BSEC. Never mind. Fucking go ahead, BSEC. Answer the question.
Well, it hadn't changed my life much, other than since it's on LinkedIn, everybody hits me up, want me to buy more stuff.
There you go.
That's about it. I mean, you get the quote unquote respect of people because they see that, so they listen. But it's not like I didn't know the information before I had it. So just like any other cert.
All right. Angular with a super chat. Thank you. Stopped in to say, I'm getting married tomorrow. Oh, okay. All right. Nice job.
Congrats.
Nice job, Angular. Congratulations. Nice day. A Saturday to pick it up. Congratulations. And best
them
wishes.
good, huh?
David P, following up on the CISP question. Was the CISP harder or easier than what you thought it would be?
Man. So I'll give you a little background. When I took this and I was done with it, I did send Jerry a message. I was like, holy crap, I passed this. That was one of the, I'm not going to say it was the hardest test, but it was one of the most, without going too deep, it was a mind screw. Like I was going through that test and I thought I was getting everything wrong, and you're reading through everything and you're going, okay, this is what I would do. This is what I would do. And then there's usually about 100 to 150 questions. On the 100th question, my test stopped. And I was like, I did so bad that it doesn't even want me to go anymore. And so it stopped, and I turned around and the proctor was right behind me and took me over, and I had passed. And I was just like, holy crap, I can't believe this just happened.
Nailed it. The speed ran it. Yeah, no, it's very cool. For me personally, it legitimized me in myself. To me, it eroded any imposter syndrome I had at that time. I got mine in 2009. Mine was on a Scantron. So I didn't get the proctor to tell me anything. I had to fill out the damn thing. It is pretty strong though. I do feel you do question yourself because you're not getting any feedback on whether or not you're doing it or not. And I don't know if they've changed this, but when I took it, you could like eliminate 2 answers pretty easily out of the 4, but the 2 that were left,
Or
you
the
don't.
same.
Yeah, they were like the
It's like-
same thing, and you're like, God damn it, So, yeah, so there's that.
Like it's either yellow and black or it's black and yellow. Like,
Yeah, or it's the Beyonce dress. You remember that whole?
no.
You get what? What are you talking about? The internet was on fire about that, guys. Are you serious?
Oh,
I've
the
never
black
heard of-
and yellow
what is
dress.
this?
Oh, black and
What
gold
color
dress.
is
The
Beyonce's
dress?
dress?
Oh, I got you.
Never
Okay,
heard
yeah,
of
yeah.
internet before.
Yeah. Are you seeing black? Or are you seeing gold?
Yeah, it was like a photo of Beyonce, and like the internet melted down because people were saying, "Oh, that dress is blue," and then people were like, "No, it's clearly gold." And then it was like GIF and GIF. Like people wanted to fight each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny the religious wars will start.
Yeah, I know. Seriously. Okay,
Yeah, I agree
so
with Jerry though. That the test in itself, it's like I said, it will screw with your mind because there's 2 clear answers that, just like on any other test, there's 2 clear answers that mean nothing to this, and then
Mhm.
those next 2 are so similar that now, and I can't remember who it was. It maybe had been on here somewhere, but I heard somebody saying, when you go take one of these tests, just read the question and answer it. Don't dig into the question, because once you start digging into questions, like they were talking about Sec Plus, don't dig in like, oh, here's the question for it. Don't start basically questioning yourself over everything. Like just read the question for what it is and answer it.
What's fun about that is, so you're asking a bunch of people who are super analytical
Yeah.
take an exam
To not be
where
analytical.
you tell them, don't analyze it.
Exactly.
Don't analyze it. By the way, we're also trying to trick you.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know what to do here.
And the worst part about that is we all, like everybody, will do this, and then you're trying to, once you read the question and you see the answer, we're like, well, yeah, that is an answer that would work. But if they were actually doing this one is more suitable for it. And you're like, that's where you got to get to the point where it's like, just read the question. Don't think about something that could be conveyed into it. Just read the question and
Yeah.
answer that question.
You're actually like at risk because you have experience.
That's
Like,
yeah.
Daniel, I'm curious because you're releasing the Pen Test Plus course next week at Simply Cyber Academy. As far as like taking that particular exam, is there similarities to what we're talking about here around
Of
reading the
course.
question and answering it?
Yeah, any of these multiple choice performance-based question type exams, they always, like, I've always made the joke, it's like, oh, it's like they're trying to give me an exam on how well I take an exam and not just the information, right? Stop giving me 2 things that are so very similar but very nuanced as the difference to it. I get what you're trying to do, but that seems like you're trying to just get me. And now, like what we were just talking about, I'm super analytical. Now I'm going to analyze the question or overanalyze the question, and it can make me perform poorly. So there are any of those types of exams. And I think that's why a lot of people started getting really upset with certifications and they wanted to move. And then, of course, we started seeing more practical hands-on certifications start to become like the norm, with OSCP jumping out of the gate. And you're like, oh, I remember when OSCP came out, it was like, oh, they get it. Right? It's not so much can you answer this question within the weird context of which they give it to you, but hey, here's an environment. You said you can do some stuff. Show me you can do the stuff. And then you're good to go. So I really enjoy the fact that we're seeing just that's becoming more commonplace than a just straight up multiple choice performance-based question. It's just more practical. So I like that better. I think it proves your skills a whole lot more. That said, the things like CISSP and CompTIA exams, they have a pedigree. They've been around. They are a known entity in the job space, in the cyberspace, in the IT space. So if you've got one, people know because, oh yeah, I kind of went through that myself. I remember the first time I took my CISP. That was a sucky experience.
Trauma bonding.
Yeah.
Right.
Trauma.
So you have, right. There's pros and cons to every type of exam. I have not taken my CISSP. I used to be very anti-CISSP, and then I started teaching it with Adam Gordon. Like Adam, I don't know if anybody out there who knows who Adam Gordon is. He writes the study guide for CISSP. He's with ISC Squared for forever. He's been on the board of that for forever. So listening to him talk about that stuff, I would just sit there and go, this is a lot of stuff. Like, this is not something you memorize. This is something you put on a reference shelf, and you just need to be familiar with it. So why are we making people memorize? It would anger me internally. It wasn't until I hung out with Mike Saunders, and then I was like, Mike, you got your CISP? He's like, yeah. I go, does that help you at all? He's like, absolutely. I said, really? As a pen tester and a red teamer, the CISP kind of comes in handy for you? He goes, I can much more easily and more efficiently marry the problems that I find, the vulnerabilities and the exploits that I'm using with their business.
The risk. Yeah.
The risk. And I can easily translate that over because of what I learned in CISP. I was like, okay, I might have just had a come to Jesus meeting with Mike Saunders over CISP. And
It's a lot. It is a lot.
I'm a big fan. Mike Saunders talking GRC. Let's go, Mike.
Yeah,
And if you don't know Mike Saunders, he's a senior pen tester at Red Siege, and he's just a really great guy. Definitely worth a follow on socials. Although he doesn't do he'll be a guest on people's shows and stuff, but as far as I know, he's not streaming his own stuff.
No, he's like we have to pull him out of his cave and bring him into the light. Like, Mike, you need some sun, sir.
Yeah, and he's probably ice fishing right now, right? Like
right
this
now,
second, ice fishing. We've got another panelist coming in. You guys know him. He's got some celebrated news that he shared with us last week. Fleetus posting the third. What's up, Fleetus? How you doing, bud?
Happy Friday, everyone.
All right, continuing on. Soulshine wants to know, DJ Bisek, what's new?
I think we went over that. Everything in the world is new right now. We were lifting and shifting applications to different places, and there's been so much. I'm trying to get grounded now because I've been running left and right. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of makes and changes in the stuff we were doing company wise. So hopefully everything's starting to settle down. I can kind of exhale.
Good. Well, we hope so too. I'm looking forward to winding down at the end of the year and getting a little R&R. Fleetus, what's cracking, buddy? Have you started your new gig?
Yeah, so I survived week one. Still have a job. I have a badge. I'm still employed.
Still have
It
access.
still works. It
So-
opens the door. Yeah.
The door still opens. So yeah, doing well there. They haven't fired me yet. I feel like I'm just going to treat this as the honeymoon stage. No one's going to say no to me at the moment. So we'll just continue to glean as much as I can, as quickly as I can, and try to add value. So
What's everyone's average when you say, because as you start a new job, there's always that, like you said, a honeymoon period, that time of adjustment, getting into onboarding, I guess we call it nowadays. How long do you guys think it should take before you're onboarded and you're like, okay, I kind of know what my job is now? What's your average time around that?
I think it depends on the role you come into. The more senior you are, you need probably longer. Your 30, 60, 90, 120 actually means something. As an entry level employee, and I'd love to hear the chat as well, is for that first month, you're doing training, you're onboarding, you're observing. If you accomplish something in 30 days, I'm proud of you. Like at 45, I'm going to start asking. By 60, you're probably going to go solo on something. And then at 3 months, we're going to hopefully have you doing something on a regular cadence.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I would expect somebody that I hired to come in and within 30, depending on the role, say somebody coming in at tier 1, it's going to take 30 to 45 days, make sure they're up to speed, they understand what's going on. Somebody in a higher level role, I'm not saying management, but like a tier 2, tier 3 type of person, I would expect they know a lot of the background stuff, so they should come in and be able to hit the ground running. I'm not going to say that they're going to get everything done in the first week, but I would say within the first 15 to 30 days, they should be able to be grabbing stuff and doing stuff themselves. They're still going to ask questions because they're not going to know where everything's at, but that's going to come with time.
I'm going through it right now. You treat them as like an advisor or a consultant that first little while, like especially at someone, because they know enough, they just don't know your environment. So they're saying, if I was in your seat, have you considered this? Do we do this? Do we have this type of technology? Do we have this policy? Do we have this procedure? It gets very quickly. I mean, I came as a director, so I got to learn the people, process, and technology. And it's important to understand who's our people, what's our process, what's our technology.
Then the other thing is you also need to build trust between each other too. I got to trust that you know what you're talking about. You got to trust that I know what I'm saying is right. So there's that time frame too.
Also, kind of a meta thing that I feel like people don't talk about all the time is like you got to figure out like how work works there too, right? Like a SOC is, a SOC's being run here one way, is being run different over here. Plus, like you have some people who are just coasting and not really delivering value. Then you have like people that know where all the things are, and they're like the linchpin type people. Like understanding the human dynamics of the organism that is the business. That can take a month, because maybe like you only have like a monthly meeting, so like you don't even have that meeting until 3 weeks in, and then that's when you figure out like, oh geez, this is the meeting where things get done. So stuff like that.
When you talk about people coasting, something that crossed my mind is those are the people that you could give the new people to and say, hey, train them and see what that person gets back. Because if they come out of 2 weeks with this person that's quote unquote coasting and they don't know anything, hey, you've had this person for 2 weeks. What the hell's been going on over here? Why do they not know anything?
The reason I asked this question is because it used to be like a real sticking point for me. When I would start a new job, I would feel just completely inadequate. And I didn't realize, like, it took me till I got into a workstation support role, and I just felt completely out of bounds. Like, man, I've messed up, man. They're going to fire me. I don't know any of this stuff that they're using. And then after about 2 weeks, I realized, oh, I'm picking this up. And I'm like, this seems to be a pattern where I start a job. I feel like they've made a mistake. I'm going to get fired. And then it's like, oh, so I always like to, for the people out there that are kind of new, getting into the career, to let you know, just hold on, ask as many questions as you can. Don't be scared to say, I don't know that. Can you help me with this? And you will get it. And then you're going to perform. So you didn't get that job for no good reason.
One thing I always tell the new hires, depending like on the role itself, is don't be afraid to break something. Like if you're getting in, that number one, it shows initiative. If you 100% don't know what you're doing, then don't just start, dicking around with it.
Yeah.
But
hey, I found this server.
Yeah.
Is this supposed to be unhooked like
we
this?
turn this
These
one on or
wires are
turn this one off.
broken.
But when it comes to like troubleshooting, go for it. And then, but let the supervisor know what's going on. Hey, I'm going to go do this, because they may, if you tell them, hey, this is, I'm going to go update the server, they may go, whoa, don't touch that one. That's not one you want to go ahead and do the other ones. Let's make sure that those work first. But don't be afraid to break stuff, because guess what? The people that are there probably built it, and they can probably get it back up. But that's one of the reasons, the only way you can learn.
If you want
The
to
only
show them
caveat to that
wisdom,
is, if you're coming in after a reduction in force, they may not be there anymore to bring it back up.
Oh, that's true.
that's a good point.
Be a little close with that. And if there happens to be this black box underneath your desk that's blinking and it doesn't have a sticky note, don't turn it off. It's probably there for a reason. Don't just turn it off.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Like, we know it's a Windows XP box. Okay, it's running some special Microsoft Access database that we need. Please don't patch it. Please don't touch it. But the mainstream things you can definitely do. I will say really quickly to DJ Bisek's point about having the person who's coasting train the new person. Be mindful of that. I could easily see this turning into a situation where that person then, when the new hire doesn't know how to do anything, that person saying the new hire sucks. The new hire isn't doing what they're supposed to do. So just be mindful of that kind of, Game of Thrones, because obviously people are going to try to
undercover boss.
Yeah, people are going to try to protect themselves, right? Like the coasting person is coasting. They like their job. They're not really working.
But a lot of that falls on management, making sure they know what's going on with their team.
True.
Yeah, as a new manager, sometimes you want that person, because you go like, okay, give me your day in the life. Walk me through what you do every day. Okay, that looks like 1 hour worth of work. What do you do the other 7 hours?
Exactly.
Like 1 hour.
Woo! We've got another panelist joining the stage, ladies and gentlemen. Our very own Kathy Chambers. Hey, Kathy.
Hey, good morning, y'all. Sorry I'm late. I've been working, and then I already felt like I needed a break. So I was like, I need to jump on the panel and laugh a little bit before I get back to work. So happy to be here.
We were just answering this question around the horn. We'll throw it to you and then move on.
Oh, okay.
What do you think is a reasonable onboarding period for a new hire?
3 months.
There you go. 3 months. Nailed it. I love it.
What did everybody else say? I missed it.
About that.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
1 month
nerdy.
to kind of get to understand what your job role is, and then the next 2 to really like sink in.
Yeah. Man, my camera looks awful. I don't know what's going on.
All right. Kathy's going to work it.
No, it's fine. It looks really bad.
I mean, it just okay. Sean Saylor says he's going to talk to a recruiter today and hopefully at some point ask for a 3-2 hybrid schedule for the job. Is there a strategy for asking for remote hybrid when it's expected to be in the office? I just really quickly have been playing too much Magic. I want to point out when I saw the 3-2, I was immediately thinking a 3-2 creature, just for the Magic people, you know what I'm talking about.
Nerd.
Okay, so as far as negotiating or using this as some type of compensation strategy, Fleetus, I mean, you literally just got hired. You know, what do you think?
So if this is truly important to you, this is questions you asked during your interview process. What is the likelihood of hybrid work? How much hybrid do you support? Is remote an option? And if not, don't go asking immediately. If they say it during the interview, we're a hybrid or a remote company, that's when you go ask for your 3-2. I'm hybrid. I go in one day. I went in 2 this week just because it was my first week and there was more people in the office. But they made it clear that we can pull you into the office. So be very cautious. And that's a great question to ask the talent person that you're working with during the interview process. How does the policy work? Is it enforced? So once you get to the hiring manager, ask the hiring manager, he or she, how often do you come into the office? What do you expect your individual contributors to do? And then you follow that. You probably want to be in the office during this training period as much as you can. If they are an office-based employee, go in 4 to 5 days a week if you can, just to meet people, to glean information, and then you can strike the balance of, hey, I've been doing well the last 3 months. Can I be at home 2 days? Then you can strike the balance if they've already mentioned that they're willing to do hybrid.
Go ahead. I mean, BSEC and then Daniel. I mean,
I'm
this is
trying
a great
to
question.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand the question because I read it as though they already have the job and they're going back to the recruiter to bring forth to the person that hired them as changing their schedule. And if that's the case, that's a little bit different. I think what Fleet has said, that needs to be done up front. Like, don't get the job and then turn around and go, hey,
no.
That's like going, hey, yeah, I'll come work for you for $50,000, and then you start working for a week and say, nah, now I need 100. Like,
yeah, the recruiter should be not involved at this point. Like, the recruiter
point,
gets you the job. That they're done after that.
Unless it is like a temp agency or something like that where they're actually going through. Still, that agency isn't going to change the schedule for the company.
And that's why I use the word talent acquisition versus recruiter, because usually they take you all the way through the onboarding in day one versus a recruiter who's just getting you. And it depends on the company. I've seen both. Recruiters just introduce you. The TA will take you all the way through, and then you turn to the hiring manager. So it's really, if we understand the question, where in the process are you and who are you talking to?
Yeah, and is the hybrid thing a nice to have or a need to have? Is that a conversation stopper that if they don't give you a 3-2 hybrid schedule, then you got to walk away from this? Because kind of like to DJ Bisec's point, if you get in there and it is like, hey, we need you in the office doing office stuff, you could as you prove yourself as an employee there, you could probably work your way into a more loose schedule and have more freedom.
Yeah.
But just if you let them know up front that that's something you would like to work toward, and if that's a possibility, then you gotta, like they said, you gotta work that stuff out before. Yes, I'm filling out my W-2 and my badges are being issued.
First checks in the mail.
Yeah, I would definitely just, when you're talking to a recruiter or interviewing for the job, this is the question. I wouldn't, for me personally, Sean Saylors, I would not explicitly state 3-2. I would keep it more open. Like, what's the hybrid policy here? What's it look like? Right. And I might even go, like, if it were me, right, I work from home and I really enjoy it. What I would say is like, hey, like I definitely think that I would need to come in more at the beginning as I get on board. But as I, integrate and I'm executing on my work, I would like to be working from home. So what's the hybrid schedule? Like, almost kind of set expectations, because like realistically, as we just talked about onboarding, it is good to meet the right people and understand how work is done there. But ultimately, you don't need to be there to get the work done in many instances.
People need to realize that we had the big shift during COVID. Now you're starting to see the shift back. People are
it's more companies are about a 4-1 than a 3-2 right now. And some are even going back to full 5 days.
Yeah. In fact, so my wife, where she works, they were 2, like 2-3, so 2 in and then 3 3 at home, and they've switched to 3-2, and they've heard that they're going to go to 4-1. So 4 in the office, 1. So, I mean, of course, when you've been given the leeway of, hey, you can work from home 3 days a week, and then it goes to 2 days a week, and then it goes to 1, a lot of people are going, okay, I'm going to get out of here. But you got to realize the market's not that great right now.
Yeah, it's an employer market. The Payne, who's always got cynical hot takes, the hybrid schedule is you get to work on the weekends from home.
Yeah.
I got you even better. You get to work your 8 hours in the office. You get to work your next 6 hours at home.
Yeah. Your after hours.
All right. Next question coming in hot. Tamika, who was a first timer this week. Glad you came back, Tamika. Any advice for working in state government environments as they are a smidge different than private sector? So I do have some experience in government. I'll defer to the panel. Has anyone else worked in government yet?
I've not worked in government.
Okay.
My dad works in government, but I have not worked in government.
So I would just say, Tamika, I worked in federal IT. I have interacted with the state of South Carolina. You want to talk about networking? I actually got a call yesterday from the state of South Carolina CISO, and he's like, hey, I my team saw your talk at the SC Kick thing last month. Would you come in and talk to my team on October 30th? I was like, okay. So, networking, relationships, speaking at conferences, they do lead to opportunities. As far as working in state government or any government, just be ready to anticipate things moving slower, a lot of paperwork, a lot of checks and balances, not a lot of salary, but almost always huge training budget, right? Like you can do SANS courses and go to a conference and have that all paid for. So that's pretty much what I would say around working in government. You're definitely not going to be able to move fast and break things. All right. Let's see. Onboarding in the cyber field. What's it usually cost a company to onboard? I know in other industries it's like 5 to 10K, but not in this field. BSEC, you hire people and you probably have budget and line items. What do you think?
It depends on what all you're pulling in when you're onboarding. So you got computers, you've got HR stuff. I mean, it's a lot. I can't break down dollar by dollar, but just to bring somebody on to give somebody a laptop and set up monitors or a docking station, you're talking $2,000, depending on what you're doing, maybe $3,000. That's just to bring somebody on board. That's just to give them their equipment. That doesn't mean, like, if they're working from home, do they get a stipend for their internet? Are they getting stipends for cell phones? Are they? There's a lot to it.
Yep. Yeah. Plus, I would argue, like, you're only talking line items. Like, there's also like lost production because, like, I've got Daniel Lowry not working on something now to train you up. So
so you're gonna have your training group that's gonna come in. So for 3 weeks or whatever, they're gonna be training, and then guess what? Now that they've trained with, maybe they train with a group of people that are just training, and now they're gonna go be part of their department. Now they got to find out their department specifics. So somebody in that department.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it.
It is. Really quick programming note. Alex says, and Alex, hey, since you're new here, there are no stupid questions, bud. Don't even sweat that. What time does this thing start? Kind of found it yesterday. Well, good. The marketing's working. We know that. So we do a show every morning from 8 a.m. Eastern to 9 a.m. Alex on the top cyber threat intelligence. And that's a program called Daily Cyber Threat Brief. And then from 9 to 9:30 every day, we do something called jaw jacking, which is what this is. And it's an AMA. And Fridays, it's a panel like this. The panel changes, but it's always good people, great people doing those things. So thanks for that. Kathy, since you
I was laughing because, like, is he asking that because he doesn't like what's happening right now? Like, hey guys, when does this thing start?
I took it
This
as
is not
like
the free banter to an anti-siphon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no.
Is this going to start anytime soon?
it's like I heard there was
it's backwards compared to anti-siphon, right?
Yeah.
It's all the news up
Yes.
front and then the banter in the back.
I was told there would be value. When does that begin?
This is mass mentoring that you can put headphones in and walk away, or you can put your noise canceling on anytime you want.
I'm sorry. I'm always the one to bring the laughs because that was that's exactly where my mind
We have to have
went.
humor. We have to have humor.
So Andrew says, where do you find balance to the constant learning aspect of cybersecurity? Which I'm a firm believer of that philosophy, is that you have to be a lifelong learner. in order to really excel in cyber. Some sources state hours after work with no downtime. Others state doing it on your lunch break. This is a great question. One that I'm actually kind of dealing with at this moment. But Daniel, well, actually, Kathy, you haven't really answered much. So why don't you, especially since you're going through a PhD?
I'm reading the question. Yeah, I get up early. So I have kids. So I have to either get up before they're up or I have to stay late after they're in bed. I have found what works for me is just getting up before everybody else does. And I'd be lying if I said I had balance right now. I have no balance. There's no balance. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But what you should be doing is
Do as I say.
project managing and setting your set times. I think Daniel talked about this recently on one of his shows. Set your set time and stick to it religiously. Like for 2 hours, I'm going to study every morning. For 2 hours, I'm going to work. For 2 hours, I'm going to, like set a set schedule and stick to it. I'll just be honest. I've just taken on too much the past few weeks and balance has been super hard. So I got to get back to it.
I can take this too.
Yeah, please.
Similar to Kathy, I took a part-time gig in between and I just took a full-time work. The part-time is a remote teaching job. So I have students who want support all the time. So there is no balance. Like you check your email and a student wants support, you got to find time to support said remote student. Then you got the work-life balance of I just started a new job. I need to look competent in the last few days. And then you got Kathy's point. I got 2 kids, my interns. I've referred to them. Dad, are you done? Dad, can you have the time? Dad, you come into dinner? Dad, you going to make breakfast? Dad, can we go out? It's like all those wonderful things. So what I did when I did my master's program is I was a public transportation person. So I used my bus ride as a time to do work because I was already committed to that ride. So I did that. I did the lunches and then passively listen to things. So put MP3s in your ear, put podcasts, put these things on when you're in a car ride because you're already committed that time to do something. So just add on top of it versus having to allot something else. And I've heard Jerry say it and others say it. Build a daily schedule of 5 to 5:30 is this. And I said 5 a.m. 5 to 5:30 is this. And then start your
Sleep time. That's what that is.
No, 5 to 5:30 is study time. Kathy can attest. You get up at 4, 5 o'clock to do your work, and then you start your day at 6, 7, you're good to go.
DJ Bisek, you're going to try to bring some sanity to this?
So last year I went through CISSP and I went through all that and studied. But I studied when I felt like studying. Right? You go through, when I first started it, I went through, I was like, okay, what is it that I know in here and I understand? What is it that I'm going to need some help with? And then I just study those on and off. And when for me, if I just sit down and just pour through something, 30 minutes after I get up, I'm going to be like, I don't know what the hell I just went through. So you're going to need little bits and pieces to grab. Now that I'm out of that, I've done that. When it comes to learning something new, I just find something that piques my interest. And then when I have time, I do it. I don't sit there and hound on, I need to learn Kubernetes. I need to learn Docker. I need hey, what's something cool that somebody did? Like maybe Network Chuck did something with Kubernetes or Docker. Hey, let me go spin that up and see if I can do that. And you learn that way. If we're talking about actually studying for certifications and stuff, that's completely different than just trying to stay relevant. Because if you're just trying to stay relevant and keep up with what's going on, you want to learn that stuff on the side. If you have time during work and you have off and your supervisor's allowing you to have that time, then yeah, go learn during that time. But learn what's fun for you. Because if you don't, I saw somebody in here put it in here, you're gonna get burnt out. It's gonna happen.
I think that we've touched on an interesting paradigm here is DJ Bisek's talking about what you're learning and Fleetus and Kathius talk about when you learn it, right? So that's two, but they're both very connected and important pieces of the learning puzzle because to DJ's point, if you're learning stuff that you're just like, oh goodness, and it's just a drudgery, it's going to be very difficult for you, even if you made the time, if you followed Kathy and Fleetus's advice to create a really good schedule and figure out where your time is that you could learn these things, it's still probably going to be very low on how much you actually take in because you're not engaged with that learning. Now, sometimes that's just the way it is. And of course, this is going to be a one-size-fits-one solution. because what you're learning isn't necessarily what I'm learning, isn't necessarily what Kathy's learning, and your time and schedule isn't the same as ours either. There might be some overlaps and similarities, but ultimately you've got to do the hard work of sitting down and figuring out, this is my schedule and here's my time. This is where things like AI comes in real handy. You can kind of feed it your entire schedule, what it is you want to learn, the things that are conversation stoppers. I have to put time for X, Y, or Z, because if I don't, my house will fall apart and my kids will be naked in the streets and it'll be crazy, just pure pandemonium, right? So I have to have these things done. You can feed that kind of stuff to ChatGPT or any of these other LLMs. Tell it you are a scheduling expert and build it to become that thing. And it will give you a really good schedule. Now you just have to follow it at that point and make sure that you are doing stuff that is something you enjoy, something you're passionate about. If that is the case, the dominoes are just going to fall into place at that point. You've done all the hard work. Now you just got to follow the plan and make it happen.
Yeah, one
I
more
think
Right,
thing.
but there
Daniel's-
are
We're all gonna
some
scream real
things
quick.
that- oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think to Daniel's point too, if you're going to use an LLM to do it, tell it like, hey, I only have 20 minutes to study. I want to learn Python and I know nothing about it, but I only have about 15 or 20 minutes to study, maybe 3 hours for the week. Can you give me a study guide or something that can maybe get me to be a Python, not an expert, but somebody that knows Python within 2 weeks?
Kathy, you had a comment?
First of all, that was great advice. I was just going to say that sometimes you're going to have to learn things you don't want to learn. Like, I think it's really cool that all you guys are saying, study what you're passionate about. I don't know if you're going to be passionate about everything that you're studying. Some things just
Statistics?
suck. I'm in
Statistics,
statistics
maybe?
right now. I hate statistics, but I have to take it. It is literally, I'm dying inside every single time I take one of these courses, like one of these classes. But I have to do it because that gets me to my end goal. So there are going to be things that you have to study that'll get you to your end goal. Like, I'm going to give an example: Network Plus and Security Plus. I have sat through both of those classes. Network Plus is so boring to me, but it is a must-have. It is a must-have. It doesn't matter if you don't like it. No matter what direction in cyber you go, you need that knowledge. But boy, is it brutal to me, right? But there are other people who are like, oh, I love networking. Okay, good for you. I don't, right?
Subnetting is
But I
fun.
know it's a necessity.
I love it.
To Kathy's point, that's what I was going to say. If it's something you don't like learning, find a way to tie it back into it. This is going to help me with X. Give you
Right.
some motivation to learn it.
Right.
So, like,
Yeah.
when I did my master's program, there were classes I did not want to take, but my end goal was to have my master's. So I applied it in some way, shape, or form. And if you want to learn something, put it to song, put it to music, do something that's going to use your other senses, your system 1 versus system 2. If you think about human psychology, your brain has a system 1, system 2. Go research that and apply both to the learning topic, and it'll come to you. You may not enjoy it, but you will be able to retain it and use it if you can get both system 1 and system 2 activated.
I hear
gonna
some
say this last
networking.
thing. There's a
Networking rap
reason that a
songs.
lot of network people are security people.
That's a good thing.
I will tell you, there is a sub-faction of community members that love statistics. So, Kathy, you
Oh,
might have
man.
you might be able to get some
help.
pinch hitters there.
Some
Really quick,
tutors.
yeah, like quick around the horn, because Daniel's gonna have to leave in 2 minutes. We can answer these 3 questions in like 2 minutes. Silence Poet. How long honeymoon phase for senior GRC role? I'd say, 45 days, right? That's kind of a rough, easy estimate. Bearded Ruckus wants to know if you've seen Demon Slayer movie. I've never heard of Demon Slayer. I'm seeing a lot of no's on the board here. Bearded Ruckus.
So we're studying.
Yeah,
It does look cool. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Kathy, what's your degree in, or a PhD going to be in?
Yeah, it's agricultural communications focused on cybersecurity and ag.
There you go. It's hot, hot, hot. Daniel Lowry, before we boogie out of here, or before you boogie out of here, tell us what's going on. What should we do? Is there something you're doing soon that people could check out?
Well, I heard word on the street is that there's this hot new Pen Test Plus course just about to hit the market, and
So
you want to
hot.
be first because it's hot. It's super hot. HAWT hot. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. For those of you that are out there that may even already have your Pen Test Plus, it's still going to be a lot of fun to go and watch. That's always, like I said at the beginning of this, my guiding star for training. So if you're looking to get into pen testing, you're looking to kind of step up, you've got your Security Plus, maybe you've done a bit of networking and things of that nature, you're on a workstation support, and you're looking to move into that next level and get that first cert into that pen testing space. I like Pen Test Plus a lot for that, because it gives you a very broad look at what pen testing is and how that works. And of course, I took CompTIA's model and reformulated it to where it was a little more the way it would be if you were actually in pen testing, and the steps that you would normally be taking in the way that you would take them. So I kind of reorganized it. We cover a lot of bases. I go into a lot of great detail. We're spinning up all sorts of cool stuff and seeing how it works and poking stuff, lots of demo heavy stuff. So it's, I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of laughs. Hopefully you do enjoy it as well. Jerry, I don't know, when are we looking to make that thing actually available?
Next week. We might be able to launch it as early as Tuesday, depending on the beta testers' feedback. So, and we will do an early bird launch special. So if you want to get in early, you get a special, I guess, discount on that. So I'm excited. Like I said, I've taken some of it because I had to do it for some of the work. And Daniel, it's delightful. It's like you're going to really enjoy spending 25 hours with Daniel.
Yeah. And even if you're not wanting to get the exam, it'll still be pretty fun. Kathy loves me. She laughs, but she loves me.
I know. So I also want to let everyone
25 hours of Daniel. Woof. Oh,
It's a lot.
a lot. That's a lot.
So
of
Daniel's
Daniel.
going to leave us to go do Daniel Lowry IRL.
More Daniel if you need that.
Yeah, if you need Daniel in your life, this is where you got to go.
We're going to talk about some fun stuff today. I got a few conversation starters for the show today, just in case we need them, and probably just because I'm going to throw them in there anyway. I'll shoehorn them in if I have to, because really cool stuff. Mike Holcomb dropped a neat lab. We're going to bring that up. We're going to talk a little bit about the new Kali version. We got cool stuff to talk about. Jump on by.
All right, that sounds good. And I'll actually see Mike Holcomb tomorrow morning at B-Sides Greenville. So I'll check out your show, Daniel, and then get after it with him. All right, everybody, Daniel's out, so say goodbye. So long, farewell. We hate to say goodbye. All right.
See ya. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Tamika says she just started meeting people in the industry. She's also a student and she wants a mentor. What's the best way to find a mentor? Fleetus, you do mentoring. What do you think?
So the easiest way is just ask someone. It really is that simple. Just say, hey, I followed you. I like what you're doing. Do you have time? And a lot of people are going to say no or yes, but. Yes, I can mentor you, but I need you to wait a week. Or you can grab 30 minutes and let's go. So I put stuff like this. Figure out if you want a formal or informal. If it's informal, just subscribe to someone you care and follow. Like there's people on this panel. Just follow what we put out. We can help you attend stuff like this. If it's a formal thing, introduce yourself. Say, hey, do you have 30 minutes a week that you can talk, or an hour a month that we can meet either in person or through a Zoom or Teams call, and put an agenda together. Come prepared and be prepared to take action. And so when you come back to your mentee or mentor, you come back and forth. So the other thing on that flip side, I did a Freudian slip there, is be a mentor yourself. If you want it to get a mentor, be a mentor to someone else, because no matter if you've been on the job 1 day or 40 years, your diversity brings stuff to the table and you give a perspective that even a veteran may not think of.
I have a story. So I have never had a mentor, right? I went like my whole career. I did everything the hard way. Like if you look back at my career, you're like, why did you do it this way? I don't know why. I was young and stupid. I did everything the hard way and I never had a mentor. And so like, I think it was like a couple of years ago, I actually asked someone to be my mentor. I'm like, okay, everybody in cyber says I need a mentor. I'm getting a mentor. And I asked somebody and she said no. And then it just made me laugh because I was like, wow, I went all these years and like, I finally got up the courage to be like, I'm going to ask somebody. And she's like, no. So anyway, be prepared for that because you just said that, Fleetus, that somebody might say no, but it's okay. I have found that mentors will just come into your life the more you start networking with people and getting to know people. Like I consider Jerry a mentor. I don't know if he knows that, but like he's my mentor. And so, but that just happened, right? It just happened because we got to know each other a few years ago and it was just like a natural thing that happened. But be prepared that not everybody's going to have time to do that. So just letting you know.
And Jerry said it here. We do this as mass mentoring. That's why we do AMAs. Mm-hmm. This is mass mentoring at scale for people. When we do podcasts or we do sessions like this, Think of this as mass mentoring. You're getting points of view from 4 to 6 people every week on this panel. Sometimes we disagree. You've seen this. We've disagreed on topics, but we come from our life experiences and we disagree like in a complemental manner. We support each other even though we disagree.
But that's a good thing to see too, is that not everybody's the same. Like we've all had different things to do.
Yeah, and I also want to point out something that I didn't understand until later in my career. I used to think a mentor was like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker. It was like this, like long-term. You'd answer all my questions.
Yes.
You're the sage person that takes me from junior to senior. And it's not the case. You can have a mentor that helps you with like something specific. Like, so Kathy said, I'm a mentor to her. Kathy has a ton of experience in like production and content and stuff like that. So like Kathy helps me with like lighting and like my setup and like, so she mentors me on how to like make things. I wish she was an audio engineer also.
I was gonna say Jerry needs an audio mentor.
I don't do audio. That's one thing I don't do.
I need an audio mentor. Yeah. But anyways, I just want to point out that sometimes a mentor can be something very transactional, very granular. And sometimes it's much more like a career mentor. So don't get hamstrung on like
the term. Don't get hamstrung on the term. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah,
exactly.
That's great advice.
Okay. Continuing to look at the questions here. If you have any questions, definitely drop them in chat with a Q. I see people talking about mentoring. Lagrat says, if you build it, Jerry will come. Okay, there you go. Love it.
Look what Space Tacos put in there.
What'd she put?
At least yours said no. I had a medical coding mentor that agreed to help me and then ghosted me after our first phone call.
Oh,
that's brutal. Yeah, I don't understand certain people. Some people like the idea of it, like, oh, like, I'm special. I get to I'm elevated because someone's asking for my stuff, and then they don't want to put the work in. That's another, like, everything is work. Like work is it's a thing. You know what I mean? So let's see. Wade says mentoring I like mentoring more than my actual job. That's Wade Wells. He's definitely a good one to follow. Somebody made a joke the other day that like it was like about creating content and starting to network and stuff within the community. And someone said this. I bring it up because Wade's here. They're like, yeah, you could start your own channel, but that's a lot of work. You could just do what Wade Wells does and just like get on other people's stuff.
No, he's great at that. Yeah.
So I thought you'd find that funny, Wade. All right. Let's see. Not a lot of questions here. What do you recommend for someone who's going in for their first entry-level cyber position interview today? Slater E35. First of all, awesome. Super pumped. Secondly, I would say, it's kind of last minute, but what I would say is I have a video on the channel on 12 common questions you get for like a junior interview. Great answers for all 12 of them. Also, I would absolutely right now go back and look at the CISO series stories, find one that's like relevant. I can't pull one from my mind right now, but like you should have like some recent story, like maybe the Salesforce data breach from a couple weeks ago, something that's like wicked mainstream that whoever's interviewing you definitely knows about. And if you can work it into the conversation, you're basically going to implicitly demonstrate that you do stay current on industry, which is a question they're going to ask you anyways. If you can show it before they ask it, it's going to be powerful because they're going to be like, oh, like this person's engaged. This is great.
Yeah, with the Salesforce stuff, you can also tie into what we saw this morning with the Salesforce agent.
Yeah. The AI agent story getting a new
Salesforce
kind of
got breached, and now they have an AI agent that's getting slammed too. So.
You can even add more onto that too, since it looks like it's GRC-ish. It says information security analysts talk about the NPM stuff that's been going on. They should They should have been analyzing all of the NPM packages that's going on. And the other thing too, go mine the business real quick. Go learn everything that they're doing. Did they just get RPO? Did they just get funding? Did they just go public? Did they just have a community event? Sound like an employee. Try to sound as much like an employee as possible from what you can do with open source intel on the company.
Yeah, you might even be able to go into Perplexity AI. So Perplexity is the one that's like seems to be the most like fact-based And I haven't done this, but you might be able to say, hey, I'm going to interview for this like put the company name in. Give me like 3 like interesting things about the company that's somewhat relevant and recent, and see what AI dumps out. You might actually get some really good stuff, given the short time window that you have since you're interviewing. And if you can, come back tomorrow, Monday, Slater E35, and let us know how it went. I'd love how it goes. And also be ready to have a question. They're going to ask you at the end if you have any questions for them. If you say no, that's not good. That's really not good. So don't do that. Okay.
No pressure.
Yeah, well, don't just have a question, have a few, because some of those
for sure.
questions may be
Yeah.
answered.
Yeah. You definitely won't want to say, what about this? And they're like, we just talked about that for 15 minutes. Like, what
Another little quick nugget: if you want to understand culture or work-life balance, don't ask what is the work-life balance, what is the culture. Frame a question like, when's the last time you missed a child's event, or when's the last time you had to work on a holiday? Like, just ask them, because it's a targeted question. As a person, you're likely going to answer. If you want to understand culture and work life, ask a question like that versus just, what is the culture like? What does your work-life balance look like? Because they're going to give you some canned answer. If you ask a targeted question, it drops the psyche. They're likely going to answer, hey, yeah, I just missed my son's basketball game last night because we had an event. And then you can say, is that common? And then you've got them talking in a conversation at that point in time.
That's a very good question to ask at the end. If it's not brought up, is work-life culture. How do you balance it out? How does your team balance it out?
Another one I like to ask is, if this job was posted today, would you apply for it again? Why or why not?
There you go. So I know Slater E35, you were asking one question. You got many answers. I hope it delivers value for you, dude. Absolutely. Amish Brain says you're using Perplexity. Yeah, I don't use Perplexity a lot, but it is what I use. I use Claude a lot. I use Gemini a bit. I don't use ChatGPT anymore, and I use Perplexity. I mostly use Perplexity when I'm putting together slides, and I need like citable information, like a statistic or something that aligns to the point I'm trying to make with the slide. Come to my talk, B-Sides Greenville, tomorrow. You'll see it in action. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, the pain. Dude, the pain always has such dry humor. Like in the interview, you're like, I was looking through your S3 buckets, and I got to say, I can bring value to securing them. Like,
oh, no, that's pretty funny.
That's good. I like that.
Oh my God. All right. So I
was looking through all of your data, and I know how to secure it.
Yes, we're going around the horn answering questions right now. We've got a few minutes left. I do want to give an opportunity, so we're not rushed at the end, for the panelists to kind of talk about some of their own projects and things that they're doing. Fleetus, you want to go first? Something you want to share, a project, a channel, a speaking, or whatever.
So as always, my mass mentoring is on my channel. I put out thought-provoking, food for thought questions that I post there as video blogs. They're also on my LinkedIn. I try to put together most weeks a Saturday morning topic that's 5 to 10 minutes long that is applicable to post people just breaking in. And I'm still actively trying to get more content out. So if you guys see it, let me know. If there's things you want to know, let us know. We everyone on this panel are willing and able to produce something for you. It may not be directly for you, but if there's something missing, bring it to us on this channel. If one of us doesn't have it, one of us will likely get it created in a timely manner for you, and then we will share it back with the community. So that's kind of where I'm at. Take a look at my channel, follow me on LinkedIn, and just remember to stay curious. That's all I'm going to tell people. Just stay curious.
And his name is Fleetus Posted in the Third. I'll drop it in chat, or Fleetus, if you can put your LinkedIn link here. That way people can find you very easily. Eliminate all the friction. BSEC, what do you want to tell us?
Nothing.
I have no questions. Thank you.
No, I've actually started thinking about, this is kind of going back to education and learning more, is getting more into, I do scripts, I write scripts, PowerShell and so forth, but I really want to get into the nitty gritty of understanding I don't want to say coding because it's not coding, but understanding the languages behind it. Like I can go out to ChatGPT or Claude or something and say, hey, write me a script that does this, and then pull it down and kind of read it and know what's going on. But I really want to get into being able to write my own scripts and not have somebody else do it.
All right, there you go. So
automation. There you go. Automation.
Yeah, some self development, and maybe BSEC, now that things are kind of calming down, might be. He does stream on Twitch, mostly DJ stuff. But do you ever do streams or anything with like educational content?
Yeah, well, I mean, every year I've done
Advent, right?
Advent.
Yeah, there you go. So we actually have Advent of Cyber coming up.
I think all those are on my YouTube channel.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Kathy Chambers,
Hi.
what's cracking? What can people know? What do you?
I have set up 14 events between now and the end of the year with anti-siphon training for you. The anti-cast are all free. So please come join us for those. And then a bunch of workshops. They're not posted yet, but they're all set up and ready to go. So keep an eye out for that. Most of those workshops start at $25. So keep an eye on the anti-siphon channel. And then personally, I hope to see you guys at Simply CyberCon. I did not get to go last year because of my kids' games. This year it's on Monday. So I'm happy to go and I hope to see you guys there.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely worth checking out. And a couple more questions. Like if you guys want to know what I'm working on, I'll talk about it. But just I want to keep going. DJ BSEC, what Sierra wants to know the next time you're going to be spinning on the 1s and 2s. It is fun. Whenever I see DJ BSEC's gone live, I do jump in there.
So I wiped, even though I have like my little stuff on here that says DJ BSEC stuff, I wiped OBS and had to start over. So I will have to build all that back out before I do that. Shouldn't take long, but I still have to build all that out. Just maybe during the holidays or something when I'm off.
It is fun. It's usually a lot of like music that if you were born in the 80s, you'll get down with. Let's see how we doing on time. 9:56. EK Burger Picard said they attended my Unicom talk. So me and Mick Douglas did a talk at a conference last week. Really quick for background information, it was around the human relationship with AI, less tech and more what do we as humans look like in 3 years with AI, the way it's growing and all this other stuff. Liked my thoughts, but wants to know my thoughts on MIT study on AI causing cognitive decline. I haven't read that study. The idea behind it, though, is that people aren't really thinking critically anymore for themselves. They just go into AI and have AI do it. I do think it's probably going to be a problem. Honestly, to me, it scales up on the idea of like, if you just learned how to use a calculator and you didn't actually learn math, like how would that work out for you? One generation away. I don't think we're going to see a problem with this issue, honestly, for 2 generations. So I'll be dead before this becomes an issue, but I do think long-term this will be an issue. And I think honestly, the movie WALL-E, is it WALL-E is the one where everybody becomes like lazy. I think we are kind of moving towards that. But sorry, I hate, like, usually I like to end shows on high notes. Yeah, we're good. We got a couple more minutes though. And I normally I'd go panel for the MIT AI cognitive decline, but I feel like it's going to be like, we're basically just passing around a flask, at 9:30 in the morning. So, all right. Let's see. Anything, I guess I don't have any questions here. Weekend stuff. Really quick, I'm taking the family to Greenville. It seemed like a great idea when I scheduled it and booked the room. And now, like, what I really want to do is just relax this weekend. But
before you get hammered by a hurricane?
Yeah. That we've got the impending storm. So I don't even know that the Buffer Ogerflow studio might be afloat.
Oh, I hope not.
You just need to get that 100-foot cable back out.
Oh my God. So for those who don't know, there is an inside joke. When I set up the studio, I do run a cable underground from my router to my studio so I can plug in this machine hardwired. And I needed to connect the wall to my machine, and I just didn't. I
4 inches away from each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this far from the wall. And I just grabbed the first cable I could find, which happened to be a 75-foot cable. So I plugged it in, a 4-inch run on a 75-foot cable. I just had this pile behind my desk, and my network connectivity was awful. And people tried to remotely help me solve the problem. And then it came out that I had a 75-foot cable, which was run on another like 50 foot to the house.
It came out. No, Jerry took a picture and showed it. I'm like, how long is that cable?
So anyways, apparently there's a degradation in performance over a certain length of
300 feet.
So who knew that question on the CCNA would be so relevant? So that's a good fun way to start your
A funny side note there, it's not just Jerry. The Trade Commission purposely does that with their fiber cables to give everyone the same amount of latency. So when trades happen at not one center inside of New York, they purposely have cable with that to slow down the trading to make sure that the latency is almost identical between the trading, so no one has an insider capability.
That's funny.
Wow.
Very interesting.
I didn't know that.
So based on the proximity, use how long your fiber cable is. So they will add the cable to make them all the same length, no matter where you're positioned at when you trade.
There you go. Today I learned. I love it. All right, here we go. Daniel Lowry just went live. So let's go ahead. We're going to end the stream and slide over there. It's a raid. I want to say thank you to DJ Bisek. Thank you to Fleet Post in the Third. Thank you to Kathy Chambers. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. And until next time, stay secure.
Bye, y'all.
See ya.